Good evening, ham radio operators. Welcome to the Weekend Wind Down Net. Before we get going, is there any emergency or priority traffic in this frequency? Alright, this is Ernesto KI5PZ and that's Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, and I am your net controller for this net. This net is heard through the University Link repeater system KA5D and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system M5OAK. If you're using the University Link repeater system, make sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, set your tone to 114.8. And if you're outside of Austin, we would love to hear from you too. The way to get in is via Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R or N5OAK-R. You can also reach us via All-Star by connecting to node 51444. The Weekend Wind Down is the RACTUNET. We get together on Sunday nights to talk about the weekend. Did you work on a project, barbecue, watch the movie, or were you stuck catching up on chores? Ham related or not, tell us, was your weekend a blast or a bust? Please note this is a directed net, so please refer all calls to me, net control. Don't forget to leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. Alright, well, let's start the Weekend Wind Down Net with a segment called Discord Dish, where we serve up our favorite Discord post from the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Discord server. And we'd start this week with a post by Sky N5LX on the General channel. He was talking, this is late at night. That was a couple of days ago, shortly after midnight. He was on 20 meters, and he got 3 QSOs with Italy. So that's a very, very cool thing happening on 20 meters late at night, and you can still get out there. Pretty funny because he was talking to a guy that was using the phonetics was Italy 5 zucchini spaghetti. So that adds some flavor to that. So get out there if you have HF capabilities and your license, General, and have some fun because HF stays busy. On the VHF and Up channel, Bill N5SMO, he posted a video here on a homemade 2.4 gigahertz amplifier. So if you want to check that out, I don't have 2.4 gigahertz, but I know some of you guys do. So that's a very cool video on the VHF and Up channel. This weekend on the Fox Hunt channel, the Sky N5LX had the Fox out there this weekend. Thank you, Sky, if you are listening, for hosting the Fox this weekend. It was fun. It's a good place. So if you are looking for something to do, you still have time. It's a fun thing to do. It's fox hunting. That's hidden transmitter hunt, and we do that almost every weekend. On the General channel was another interesting post. This one was by Jim, KJ5AZP, and this is not ham related, but still interesting. This one is when the music on when you're on hold, when that started. So you want to check that out. There's a video on the General channel of the music that you listen when you are on hold, how the whole thing got started. Want to give a shout out to Steve, no call. He still hasn't gotten his call sign, but homie went this weekend and passed all 3 exams by one sit. So that is very awesome, dude. Hopefully you'll get your call sign this week and you can jump on here and tell us all about it. That's on the general channel. That was I think yesterday. I think it was Saturday. Yes. So congratulations to Steve for passing all 3 exams in one sit. That's pretty awesome, dude. There's a video here that I missed last week. This was posted on the Wind Down Net channel. That was posted by Mike, K5MNW. And this is a video on how the ionosphere affects global communication. Ionosphere 101, in case you want to check it out and want to learn more about that. The CW channel stays active. There's always things happening there. We've got PAD W5, WTH, and K5TR. Looks like they're pretty active this weekend, talking to everybody all over the place. Check it out, CW channel on Discord. And on the social meetup, David and 5YAN was mentioning if anybody's interested in doing something at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. I guess more like a Parks on the Air or something related to that. That's on the social meetup. If you're interested, you can go over there and get your feedback on that. Sounds like a good idea, David, if you're listening. Let's see. The posts that I grabbed this week, I'm sure I missed a whole bunch, but that's the one that I grabbed throughout the week. Wanted to let you guys know that that's you can, if you are not a member of the N5OAK club, you can go to n5oak.org, and it's free to join the club, and it's free to join the Discord server, and it's a really great place to go and meet new hams. And if you are, well, other hams or new hams, either way, if you're a new ham, even better, you can get out there and get all your questions answered. We have over 500 people in the club, very friendly folks, and there's channels for all kinds of themes, ham radio related. So check it out. It's free to join. N5OAK.org. You can scroll down and join the fun. It's free to join. Well, you're listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN, on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Okio Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Have a fun weekend, as usual. There's a little bit of everything. Fridays, work all day, but then we went to the movies at the end of the day, and I got to watch the Barbie movie. Go figure. Had fun. I thought it was going to be annoying, but I had a great time. Went over there with Mireya and had a really awesome time. This Saturday, did the breakfast at Waterloo. We do breakfast at Waterloo Ice House on 8600 Burnett Road every Saturday at 8 a.m. and we hang out there for a few hours. Did that and hung out with the guys. That was a lot of fun. There's always fun there. If you're listening, if you've never done it, that's a great place also to go and get your questions answered. Bunch of seasoned hams are usually hanging out, and they're really friendly folks. So keep that in mind. It's every Saturday at 8 a.m. and we hang out there for a few hours. It's on Waterloo Ice House on Burnett Road, again on 8600. Then today I got to work at the nonprofit for a little bit, not for too long, but I got a few things done up there, and then got to watch some F1 race, which I'm not very familiar with that, but hanging out with friends, and that was fun. I learned something new today. And now running this awesome net. But I'm curious. I wonder how everybody else's weekend went, so let's call for check-ins. But before we do that, let me do another quick ID. This is the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN, on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Okio Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Well, all right. Any licensed operator is welcome to check in. New hams. This net is new ham friendly, so we would love to hear from you too. And all you need is a valid FCC ham operator license to check in. So, all right. Well, any mode, anywhere, please come in with your call sign and name if you would like to check in.
This is Whiskey Zulu 5 Bravo, Bravo Sierra Rusty, Northwest Austin.
This is Whiskey 5 Kilo Yankee Uniform in South Austin.
Got Rusty and Kai. Who else would like to check in? Please call net control with your name and call sign.
This is November 5 Lima X-Ray Sky, and I'm actually on the road going to pick up the Fox.
Alright, we got Sky. Anybody else would like to check in? Please call in with your name and call sign. Alright, well, let's go and check with Mr. Rusty, WZ5 BBS. Rusty, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you, my friend?
Hey Ernesto, everybody on the net. Yeah, weekend's been great. Looking forward to another day off tomorrow. Nice holiday weekend. Friday kind of dorked off, didn't do a whole lot of stuff. Saturday got up early, went to Old Man Breakfast, and then came home and napped a little and did some laundry and that kind of stuff. And then you and I went fox hunting with Enrique, and good fox, Sky. That was a fun one. It's a great little location. And yeah, did that, and then woke up this morning and had a bunch of people over. Since the traveling taco net from a couple of weeks ago was such a big hit, I invited Doug and yourself and Sky over, and we had Enrique as well. We watched a little F1 hanging out at the house, just kind of goofing off. And it was great. I'm glad Doug said that apparently Spectrum and ESPN are pissed off at each other. So it was a great opportunity for us to hang out at his house and watch some F1 and just kind of jib-jab and, have some fun. So, man, so far my weekend's been great. Looking forward to tomorrow off as well, and probably not doing a whole lot tonight, man.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it sounds like a good weekend, chilling, having fun, doing some fox hunting, and chilling out with friends. It was very fun to watch the F1 race, and especially having people who are very familiar with the sport, because then getting Doug and your feedback on what was happening and all the rules and all the things, that made it definitely very interesting to me. So I'm a fan. I would say I'm a fan. I like it. It was fun watching that. And we had a great time for sure. That was pretty fun. We haven't been fox hunting in I think around 3 months, because that's I think as long as we've been working on the non-profits, I've been busy during the weekend. But it was very nice to get out there and get some fox hunting done. We went at the end of the day, so it was still sunny, but the sun was not killing us. It was very pleasant. It was a really cool spot, but after 3 months, I think we did pretty well. Do you remember how long it took us to find the fox? Back to you, Rusty.
I just looked. It was an hour and 14 minutes. So man, we're on par. We're about an hour and a half is what we usually do for fox hunting. So looks like we still know what we're doing.
Right on. Yeah, it felt kind of okay. We just picked up where we left, so that was fun. And Rusty's got an Arrow antenna. We use that. And then I have a little stubby antenna that I put on my HC, and we get out on the truck once we find the when we realize that we're at the site, and between the two antennas we get pretty good readings, and they're okay to find. Sometimes we struggle and go through different areas and get all kinds of bites and things happening, but It was definitely a fun one, and I actually, highly recommend to people that are listening that never try fox hunting. And if you are new to ham radio, we are talking about a hidden transmitter. I was thinking, Rusty, about doing once a year a hard, really hard fox hunt like that first one that we did, where Kyle was hosting, and he just told us that the fox was in Travis County. I think we should at least do once a year one like that. What are your thoughts on something like that? Back to you.
So I was talking to Sky, and we were right. He slowed the time down to help save on battery, and that discussion came up, and I think, is how often you want to transmit, whatever you want to do is up to the person hiding the fox, and I like that some of them transmit quicker than others. I like some of them are harder than others, so yeah, man, I'm completely down to make some of them harder than others, and I'm maybe more than once a year, but we do this at least every other weekend, so we got plenty to go. But yeah, I think having a mix of different hardness levels is totally good for the fox hunt scene.
Yeah, if we're doing something like once a year, a really hard one, like I said, like it's in Travis County, then we can probably do like a little prize or something. But I don't know. I thought about that again once a year, and the new people can tag along with people who've been doing it often. It's a hard one, but because we did it once, but it was a lot of fun. Just driving around without having no idea and no map. I don't know. I know it could be frustrating, but it sounds appealing. And again, once a year, not every week, and we'll do the regular ones where we have a map. But that's something on my list of things to do. And I think once the weather gets cooler, we might be able to convince the guys on doing something like that, where it's we are increasing the headache a couple of notches. Back to you, Rusty.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. And, speaking of, it's probably time to do another brunch hunt. It's been a while since we've done a brunch hunt, and those are on the easier side of the spectrum. So I'll put that in the calendar of things, and we'll get that coming up here sooner than later. So we'll count on another brunch hunt for an easy fox hunt, and a good reason to hang out and, have some brunch and, hang out with people.
Well, cool, man. I'll spread the word and try to get as many hams as possible to join in the fun. Well, very cool, man. Do you have anything? Well, you have any plans? Well, you said you're taking the day off tomorrow. You have any plans, or are you just chilling for tomorrow?
No plans officially, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing stuff. So we'll see. But as far as I know, I got nothing planned. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow, I guess.
Well, very cool, man. It's nice to have a Monday off for sure. I prefer them over Fridays, because Mondays for me are a little bit harder to get into the mojo. Rusty, do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, sir. Happy holiday weekend, everybody. And thanks to Doug and Sky and yourself and Enrique for coming over and hanging out. Sky just left 45 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, something like that. So, no, it was a good day hanging out and having fun. And thanks for running the net, man. We'll holler at you, Mo, later. WZ5BBS, back to net control.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for having us. It was fun, and I need to get the guys together again when it cools down so that we can jump on that big troll and get it fixed, hopefully. Well, very cool, man. Thanks again for checking in. It was a pleasure having you on the net, and hopefully we'll be talking over the week, and I hope you have an awesome week as well. All right, that was WZ5BBS, Rusty on the net. Let me do a quick ID, and we'll continue the fun. You are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN, on Sunday nights at 7:30 via the University Link repeater system and the Okio Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, well, let's go and check with Ka, W5KYU. Ka, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hey, Ernesto. It's doing pretty good. I missed last Sunday's wind down net, so I thought I better be on today.
Missed you last Sunday. Everything going well?
Yeah, everything well. I really liked last week seeing you guys for the first time at the breakfast. I think I met Bill, Rick, and Jason. So I think it's a real great community that we get together and kind of like learn more about radio.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I keep saying those breakfasts are good. You get to meet people in person, and those are the same folks that you hear on the repeater. So it makes it easier next time you hear them on the repeater because those people that you already have coffee with. So it's just it's one of those things that. Plus, it's fun. It's fun to hang out there. I heard that you are getting involved with the Aries group. Is that going well? Back to you.
Yes, I hear you on the check-ins too. Last week we actually went up to Cedar Park and set up some radios for the hospitals. The program CAT something. That program it seems like I would love to get into that and support the hospitals in emergencies. That sounds like a great idea.
I didn't know that was a thing. So they have HF on some of the hospitals, or all of them, or are you still figuring that one out? Back to you.
Yeah, I think there is a group that kind of manage that. So I guess whoever speaks out the most and say, "Oh, we want a radio on our hospital," they seem to get it first, and I think they're needing more volunteers to man those, and when things hit the fan, right?
Very cool. Is that something you guys are going to be doing like once a month, going around the hospitals, or how's what's the plan on that? Back to you.
Yeah, I think they do plan to have regular meetings and kind of check-ins and make sure everything is still working and go through a checklist. And so the format is that we use WinLink to send messages. So I'm still trying to learn that. So I guess I'm not ready for prime time yet there.
It's if you ask around and in a group of ham, everybody's still learning something. It's the flavor of the hobby. We're always looking into new things. I got into the WinLink. I went to a training with Glenn and Rex out there at the Red Cross and took a bunch of notes, but then kind of waited too long to get the software and everything installed and kind of dropped the ball there. But I need to get back on it because I really like the WinLink capabilities. Basically, you can send emails over RF and that. I mean, in an emergency or if you're in the middle of nowhere, that's a nice thing, a nice tool to have. So that's very cool. And I heard, I think it was Rex or Glenn mentioned today that on the net, our Aries net, that you already went up a couple of levels there on your training. So congratulations on that, man. Back to you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. The comment that I keep saying is that it's like learning radio with a specific purpose. So I kind of directs my where I want to spend my limited brain power to learn all that's radio. So and I think all these digital modes seems very interesting. I hear that in second Tuesday somebody's go speak at the Austin Amateur Radio Club meeting about digital mode. Too bad I'll have to miss that though. I hear you guys record that on Zoom. Is there a link on the website?
Yeah, it's this Tuesday. Jeff and 5MNW is going to be doing a presentation in all the digital modes. I guess record it, but I don't don't think it gets recorded in a way where we can play that back, because I already asked for one once, and it seems like there's a whole bunch of of things to do before we have access to the meeting, so I kind of dropped it there. But yeah, no, man, it's but I think what I could do is I get a copy of that presentation, the PowerPoint presentation. So I have a bad memory, but if you shoot me an email, especially closer to Tuesday, which is when I get those files, I can send you that file, the presentation, and then you can go through it at your convenience. Will that work? Back to you.
That's awesome. I really would appreciate that, and I'll remind you when it gets closer. Thanks.
Yeah, dude, cool. Yeah, because I sneeze and half of the stuff in my brain kind of resets and goes to zero. So that's that's the way I function. Well, very cool, man. I'm glad to hear that you're getting involved in more stuff. It sounds like you are enjoying the hobbies. I know you got a license not that long ago, so it's good to see you having fun and getting on the repeater and getting on all this stuff. What's the most fun stuff have you done so far in ham radio? Back to you.
Oh, I've been thinking about these Go boxes. I think you mentioned Rusty was into that too. So, Rusty, if you have any advice how to set these up, I bought 3 or 4 ammo cans, 2 backpacks, and a Pelican case, in anticipation of loading up with something radio.
Rusty, you around?
I am indeed. And yeah, the Go Boxes are fun. We have a Go Box channel, so go look through the Go Box channel. You'll get to see mine. I've got an FTM 300 and a 20 amp hour LifePo battery and an ammo can. And man, it's the one place that you get to kind of do your own thing and have fun. I don't drive the truck enough to have a radio in it, so I made a Go Box / radio or a truck radio, and that's what I use, and I absolutely love it. So do figure out what you want, figure out how to make it work, and make it all your own. And don't listen to anybody else. Look at everybody else for ideas and details, but then go make your own, man, and go do what it needs to do for you. And man, I love mine.
Thank you, Rusty, for the advice. And yeah, I'll take some pictures of hopefully finished products that I'll have, because I have like 3 things in my mind, and hopefully I can visualize those and get them into a can.
Yeah, man, I'm bad with like spatial awareness and things like that, and I know every radio has dimensions and measurements and all that, but I'm one of those that likes to buy the stuff and put it together and see that it works and figure it out. So hands-on works the best for me, and totally go take lots of pictures and show people on the Go Box channel, and that gets people excited about making Go Boxes, and that will get more pictures. When you start showing people what your setup looks like and what you're doing, you'll start getting more pictures in return, and people show you what they did and how they did it. So go dust up the Go Box channel and see what recommendations and what you can get there. It's a great spot.
Thank you again. Yeah, I will do that. Okay. So back to the net controller, Ernesto. Back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Rusty, for your comments. That's an idea for all of you guys out there listening. And if you are interested in getting into the Go Boxes, it's a fun thing to do. I haven't gotten into it yet, but it's on the list. It's on that long list of ham stuff to do that I have. But those are neat. Those are very neat, and I guess usually Kyle, when we do meetings and things like that, he usually have that box with him in his truck. So next time you go to a quarterly meeting, just remind him to show it to you, because it's really neat. It's like a super nice thing, well done. So very cool. Kyle, do you have any plans for tomorrow, or are you working tomorrow? Back to you.
I have the day off, but it seems like even though I usually don't work on the weekends, I'm in IT, so occasionally we get be on call, and I've been working this weekend a little bit. A sleepless night last night.
Well, it happens, man. It's on any job. Every once in a while we get one of those hiccupy weekends where you have to drop everything you're doing to take care of business. But it could be worse. It's we're employees, so that's a good thing there. Very cool, man. And then you have any plans? Any radio plans? Anything doing soon? Radio related? Back to you.
Maybe just drill some holes in some boxes. That's about it. Yes, maybe a cookout. Yeah, I gotta have a cookout, right? It's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, man, it's definitely. Yeah, I gotta do it early in the morning so the sun doesn't kill you there, because today got really warm. Well, very cool, Carl. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, that's it. Nice speaking to you again. Bye.
Again for checking into the net. That was Kyle, W5KYU. And now we're going to go and check with Mr. Sky N5LX. Sky, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hey, Ernesto. This is N5LX. Am I hitting the repeater okay?
Yes, sir. You sound like you're here in the front porch.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm on my HT. I'm out here. I just retrieved the Fox, and I was looking at the logbook. It looks like quite a few people participated in this one, which is cool. I hope everybody had a good time. There's people out here walking their dogs. I'm sitting on one of those green benches right next to the yellow rattlesnake sign. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the fun, the hunt, the fox hunt, those who participated. And it's actually kind of nice out here. The sun's down, it's cooling off a little bit, but man, it sure is dry. We need some rain. I'm going to reset. Anyway, yeah, Saturday, the weekend was good. I mean, Saturday I went to the Old Man Breakfast, enjoyed hanging out with everybody. And, yeah, this afternoon, hung out at Rusty's house. It was good to see you and Enrique and Doug and Rusty. And I learned about F1 a little bit, but most of what I learned is that I don't know anything about it. I was thinking, I kind of follow MotoGP, and I was thinking it might be like that I might understand something about it, but it's totally different. But it's interesting. Let's see, radio-wise, over the weekend I've been playing around, testing out, and trying to figure out some SDR software, because I ordered a PAN adapter for my 7300, and so I'm trying to figure all that out. I don't have it yet, but looks like I'm going to end up maybe emulating Windows on my Mac so that I can run some decent SDR software. Reset. Let's see what else. Yeah, I heard you talking about Go boxes. I've kind of sketched out an idea for a Go box, but I haven't built it yet. But yeah, I want to have something that I can throw in the car and just use on a battery if I want. And so that'll be fun putting that together. And also I have all the parts I need now to put my kind of a custom mag mount together for HF antennas on my car, so I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. That's about all that's going on, but enjoyed hanging out with you guys over the weekend, and it's been a great weekend. I hope everybody else has had a good weekend too. Back to you.
Break.
Go ahead, Break.
This is N5WRW. Hey, Sky, I don't know if this is any use to you, but I have an SDR, one of the, it's SDR Play or whatever it's called. Yes, SDR Play. And they just released a new software thing that's called SDR Connect, and it runs on Mac. I've got it on my Mac. I have a little inexpensive PC laptop that I use most of the time, but it looks viable anyway.
Hey Dwight, good to hear you. Yeah, I appreciate the heads up. That was actually one of the applications that I tried over the weekend, and some of it works great, some of it doesn't. Everybody I've talked to on the forum seems to have a different experience with it, so maybe it's just not quite fully developed yet. But it's a really nice looking interface, though because it's a USB port, and I don't think the 7300 was designed specifically for that kind of thing. The waterfall and the spectrum's a little bit slow to refresh. But I got everything working except none of the metering works. The rig control works. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll figure out something, or maybe the next version will be better. I tried a bunch of things, and it seems like every one of the native applications I tried that was native for Mac had some kind of a bug. But I'll figure out something. I mean, half of the fun for me is just trying different things. But I appreciate that, Dwight. This is N5LX, righty.
Roger, Sky. Yeah, I actually bought one for my 9700, and I haven't used it yet. And it's called SDR Control. I had to pay for it, but oh well, guys gotta eat. And I don't know why it wouldn't work with the 7300 too.
Yeah, you got me. I mean, that's way above my head, but it seems to work fine in every way except like I said, the waterfall and the spectrum display is a little bit slow to refresh, which you could get used to, but the metering doesn't work, and that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff seems to be sensitive to, so far as working on different machines. That's a typical thing. I mean, I run into that all the time, but hopefully I'll find something that works.
Yeah, this one is, this is a completely different program. It's just called SDR Control. And I think it costs like $150 or something. It's from Germany. And it was for my 9700, but I must admit I haven't hooked it up yet.
Yeah, I think I got those mixed up. And SDR Control, I think right now it's $99, $100. That's the one I'd have tried. I think SDR Connect, I tried that one too, and I can't remember what the issue was, but that didn't seem to work either. There was another one, WFView or something like that, and the metering and everything worked, but it saw my sound card, but there was no audio. So it's always something. This is N5LX.
Yeah, I certainly understand. I actually like their older thing that they had out, SDR Uno, but as far as I know, that only works on PCs. I just got a cheap little PC that's reconditioned from Amazon for like $130, and that seems to do fine with it.
Yeah, you're giving me good advice. I actually have SDR Uno on my PC laptop, my Windows laptop, and I really like it. So there's a bunch of them out there. Some of them are free. Some of them cost a little bit. But I'm kind of enjoying fiddling around with all that stuff and haven't really settled on one yet. But SDR Uno looks really good. We'll see. But I do appreciate the advice.
Well, it's not advice. This is the blind leading the capable. But I had a great time with it. I hooked up the little SDR box to the thing, and then hooked it up to my HF antenna the other night, and it must have been a good night, because it was just alive. It was amazing. N5WRW, back to net.
All right, well,
Well, thank you, Dwight, for that information. Sky, I have a question for you. And, Newham here, and I'm sure there's got to be some Newhams out there listening. You said that you order a pan adapter for your radio. What does that mean?
Well, since it's all so new to me, I'm not sure I'm going to do a very good job of explaining it, but the way I understand it, and don't ask me the model number, I can't remember it, but this most recent pan adapter that I found, it goes in series with the IF stage of the receiver, and it's got a buffer in there, and it splits it, and the IF feeds into this little box, and then it feeds through and then back into the IC7300. But the other branch of it feeds to a port, and you take that output from the IF and you feed that into your, it converts it also. It's I don't know what they call it, a transverter or something like that. But anyway, it converts it, and then you feed it into an SDR, and you can use any SDR that you want. I have an SDR Play, and I have a Kiwi SDR. SDR Play is a really good receiver, but that doesn't really matter all that much because you're actually just using that receiver for the display. And so then what you'll use is an interface app with any old computer so that you get the waterfall display and then the rig controls where you can control, I'm going to reset it, where you can control your HF rig with on the desktop, like with your mouse or your keyboard. Basically, the pan adapter allows you to have the capability of having the spectrum display and the waterfall and all the controls for your HF rig on your computer screen, where you can just control everything from there. Now, some people would prefer to just use the controls on the radio itself, but I kind of like, I've tried it just a couple of times on other people's rigs, and I kind of like having the big screen instead of the little screen on the radio, and also where you can open different windows, like you can have the QRZ website or all kinds of other windows open with different applications in them. And on my little workstation, I have some really nice speakers, so you get better audio too. And I don't know, some people just use the regular microphone on the rig, but you can also put a little microphone on a boom, and you can have a foot switch, so you can make it it's up to you. You can make it as fancy as you want, but that's kind of what it is. It's like you have everything on a big computer screen on your desktop.
Well, very cool. Yeah, I heard that pen adapter, and for whatever reason, I was thinking about pocket protectors and pens on your pocket. Not a computer guy, obviously, so all of this is new to me. Well, very cool. I know that some guys get to do add a monitor to the the FT10 radio, the Yaesu FT10. I don't know if I'm missing a couple of words there, a couple of letters in them, but the HF radio, some of them you can plug in a monitor to them, and that seems pretty cool. So I don't know if you can get to do a mouse too, but very cool. I guess they sell that for radios that don't come with that type of feature there. But very neat. Yeah, I have no idea. So thank you for explaining that to me. All of that is new to me. It's funny, we were talking about that earlier today about new things and not knowing. So I always feel like I don't know anything about this hobby, so that I just keep on asking and bugging people about it. But very cool, Sky. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on? Back to you.
Yeah, you're humble. I mean, it's all new to me too, and I'm sure there are a lot of hams out there who could explain this stuff a lot better than I could. I'm just in a learning phase, and I figure that's a good way to be. Hopefully I'm always learning something new. I enjoy it. But yeah, it's all fun, and there's some rigs that have that capability already built in, like with LAN ports and stuff. but I'm enjoying it. And yeah, it's starting to get dark out here, so I think I'm gonna head to the car. But thanks for running the net, Ernesto, and hi to everybody out there. This is N5LX. Back to you.
Hi, man. Yeah, we don't want anything bad to happen. We don't want the hubble jubbos to grab you over there and take you into the woods. So get out of there. Thanks again for hosting the net, and thanks again for not the net, the Fox. Hosting the Fox, and thanks again for calling the net is what I meant to say. Always a pleasure talking to you, man. Hopefully we'll get to talk in the next few days. That was Sky N5LX, and this is Cat 5 BZN with the Weekend Wind Down Net. Dwight, are you interested in I put your name here, so you got checked in without wanting to. How's the weekend treating you, Dwight?
Pretty good. I'm trying to get some things organized here. I got my antenna up a bit higher, and I got my linear amplifier out of the box and got it figured out a shelf for it to sit above the radio and the antenna tuner. And while I was at it this afternoon, I was listening for the 10-meter net, and I couldn't really hear anything. But I went up a little bit, and I talked to Curaçao, an island that's just barely north of South America. So things were working that direction. I think I got some trans-equatorial action there. N5WRW.
Cool, man. Yeah, 10-meter net. Sometimes you hear everybody in town, and all the people checking in, and sometimes you just hear a handful of them, and then every once in a while somebody comes in from really far away. So I'm glad that you were able to at least get a QSO there, and very cool. Hitting the Caribbean, I guess it's starting to open up again. I haven't been checking 10 meters in a while now, since it's been closed for most of the summer. But very cool. Yeah, I guess it's that time of the year where I guess fall is, at some point will show up, and 10 meters will get better, and hopefully 6 meter as well. How much power do you have on that amp? Back to you.
On sideband, it's 800 watts PEP, so it's enough to stir up some electrons.
I would say so. Do you have to put an external fan on that amp? Back to you.
No, it has its own fan, and I only use it on sideband anyway, so it never runs. It's not like it's running 100% duty cycle or anything.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I ordered a something to build a power supply. I know little Dave is going to help me with that, but I have a couple of amps here that I'm interested in checking them out. They're not as powerful as the one you have, but I can't wait to put some fire in the antenna and see how that works. Does it change your audio when you're using the amp, or does it comes out just as clear as with just the radio? Back to you, Dwight.
Oh, I hope it does. I hope it's okay. I haven't used it in years and years. I've had it for probably almost. You'll have to look up. It's an Ameritron AL811H, and I got it, I think, within a year of it coming out. So it's been nearly 30 years anyway. And it worked real well, and it isn't finicky. It's got 4 811 tubes in it that look like beer bottles, and then the rest of it's solid state. Just the finals are tubes.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it's on my list, getting something like that. I don't know, around 600 or 800 watts for an HF amp. It's on my list, but it will have to be, the right time, the right amp, the right price, and all the things. It's got to be, when I bump into something really cheap. So that, but it'll be nice to be able to push 600 or 800, 800 watts on HF. Having an amp that sounds. I hear guys on an HF all the time, and sometimes a big difference when they have their amps on. So very cool, man. That sounds like a good project. Did you finish with the antenna? Put in the NFET? Back to you.
Yeah, the NFET that I bought is supposedly as good for 1,000 watts, so it ought to be fine. And all my cable, I ran all full-sized cable too, so there isn't any RG58 or RG8X or anything like that. So I don't know. I may not use it that much truly, but it was just nice to get it out of the box. And I took the cover off it, all 16 screws or whatever it was, and vacuumed it out and brushed it out and blew it out to try to get it, because if you don't do that, you can get an arcing festival going on. Right now it's got its dust cover on it, but it was, it works pretty well. When I was at net control on a 75 meter net, it really was handy. It was, really made a difference on the lower bands. But, we'll see. Hopefully it still works. It's had kind of a cushy life. So, it's always, I'm the only owner, so I'm just amazed at how much they cost now. They're double what they were when I bought it. I mean, literally double. Amplifiers are just, unlike radios and HTs and everything else, amplifiers and power supplies have gone up in price. N5WRW.
Yeah, man, I started looking into HF amplifiers, and I turned off the computer after seeing what was out there. I got depressed, so we're not doing that. That's not the route that I'm going to take for sure, because they're really expensive. And so far I've managed to talk to the world with 200 watts. But it's just kind of nice. It would be nice to have something like that. Well, very cool, man. That worked out. The antenna's up. And hopefully it will. I'm sure it will work just fine, especially after taking care of it and cleaning it up and getting everything ready to rock and roll. Do you have any plans for tomorrow for the holidays? Back to you.
I'm not sure yet, but nothing particular. I smoked a rack of ribs today, and they came out real well. Took 6 hours, but oh well. I've got a pellet grill, and that just kind of takes care of itself. That you don't have to keep running at it with more wood or anything like that.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, it's slow cooked. I'm sure it's delicious. I haven't had ribs in a little bit, and I absolutely love ribs and brisket and mutton and all that delicious stuff, especially if it's, slow cooked. Well, very cool, man. Glad to hear that everything's going well and you have your equipment ready to rock and roll. Hopefully you'll get good use on that amp now that you got it out of the box, and hopefully get on HF and put it to work. Well, very cool, man. Let's see. It's 10 minutes. I need to do a quick idea here, but thanks for checking in to the net and for the comments earlier. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get to talk soon here, hopefully either here on the repeater or an HF. Alright, well, let me do a quick idea real quick here to stay legal. You are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Okie Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Alright, that was right, N5WRW, and we still have time for check-in, so if you would like to check in to this awesome man, all you gotta do is call Net Control with your name and your call sign.
Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha.
This is 5JM. All right. And Sam, let's go and check with David real quick. K7TVA, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hey Ernesto, how you doing? Thanks for running the net, and hello to everybody, and good evening. This weekend has been a little bit of an up and down for me. It's nice to have a long weekend. I actually had Friday off as well, so it's a 4-day weekend. Went out and did the fox hunt today. That was good. Spent a little while chasing my tail on that one, driving around, and then also when I got to within, I was sure I had to be within 10 meters of the fox, and just could not see it. It was very hard to see this one, and the logbook had gotten totally covered up by leaves blowing around and other debris, so I had to, eventually I started just like dragging my feet and kicked it and turned it up that way. Oh, so that was a little interesting. Reset. Some Go Box chatter earlier. I've been lurking in the net a bit, and I've actually been working on a little bit of a Go bag for my dual band mobile radio. So I've got a 3D printed frame for it that I made so that it'll kind of fit in the bag and have some room for airflow around it. I see a lot of people like shove a radio in a bag, and I'm like, how does that work? There must be airflow. I figure you got to create some space around it to keep the radio from overheating. So I've got a frame that holds the radio, kind of fills up the space in the bag, and then it's got a little mounting point for an antenna, BNC connector, a mounting point where my DigiRig mobile digital interface attaches so that you can plug right into the USB port, and then I'm also mounting a little USB power supply in there that's got a USB-C out and a USB-A out, and the USB-C out can charge a tablet. I have a Surface Pro that it'll charge, so it's kind of a little mobile, wearable digital station, which is kind of cool. Reset. So that's I'm planning to use that for Aries because we have the critical infrastructure exercise coming up in a couple of weeks, which is going to involve sending some WinLink packet transmissions from different places around Austin. So having things that I can kind of keep everything together and neat, toss it in the car, should work out pretty good. So I'll post some pictures of that once it's fully done. I have a couple more tweaks to the 3D prints to make. So, but yeah, I'll post that up when it's ready. That's about all I got. So back to you, Ernesto, K7TVA.
Well, very cool, David. That sounds like a really nice project. It's funny, I didn't think about, when I've seen those backpacks, I didn't think about ventilation. It's funny you bring that up. It makes total sense. I guess you have to pull the radio and the equipment out of the backpack before you get to use it. But very cool. That's a very neat idea, and I would love to see pictures as well. And I like all the things that you are describing there, charger and everything. It's all in one. So, Kai, if you're still listening, you can probably go and check that out. I'm sure that hopefully David will post pictures on the Go Box channel on Discord. But very cool, man. Did you do any radio over the weekend? Any QSOs out there?
There was a slow. Was it the weekend or was it like Thursday night? Because my weekend was a little long. Either Thursday or Friday, there was a slow speed. What's it called? Straight Q Century Club slow speed saunter, which was actually really good because there were a lot of people working CW around like the 10, 12, 15 words per minute speed, which is like right at the edge of like what's challenging for me, but I can still copy it. So I didn't. I guess the mic fright kind of overtook me, and I didn't make any contacts. But I, after the Thursday night net, and then a little bit on Friday, I just scanned around the bands and tried to copy what I could and practice. So I got a lot of CW practice in, so that was good. But other than that, on the Fox Hunt, so yeah, actually, both those are receiving only activities. But other than that, on the Fox Hunt, no, not a whole lot of on-the-air activity for me this weekend. K7TVA.
Right on, man. Yeah, the Fox was fun. That was a really cool location. And it's funny you mentioned Mike Fright on CW, quote, quote, Mike Fright, because it's funny, because, I'm always here talking on on the radio, and I have, zero shame. I just talk here, and I feel very comfortable. But when I'm jumping on CW, because I'm not that, I'm not a good operator in CW, I do get that. I still get the quote my fried on with the key. I have to know who's on the other side before I start making all the mistakes that I do on CW. But it's I didn't think about that. I haven't thought about it, but now that you mentioned that, it does. It gets. It's funny because like I said, I've running this net for over a year now, and all of the other nets, and all that shenanigans. But it's funny how we do get. It would be cool to listen to that. I'm usually checking the CW areas of the band, the portion, and looking for something slower because I'm more like between I'll say 10 and 15 words. That's what I'm trying to copy that. But if every once in a while when I get into go and check the band, all I can find is just people going at it where it's just so fast that it sounds like it's not even a human on the other side. So I just kind of get discouraged every once in a while when I get to that because I wish I would find a spot where people were always kind of like at the same speed, but I don't know, maybe they are from where I'm from Puerto Rico, and they talk really fast even in CW. They feel like they're running out of time, so I don't know. It's something to keep in mind. But very cool, man. Do you have any plans for tomorrow, or are you working by any chance? Back to you, David.
That's funny. Talking really fast, and then end up sending CW really fast. No, So just to expand on what you were saying. For me, the mic freight thing is I can copy it 12 words per minute, but if I'm trying to do a QSO, the pressure ramps up and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say and then also trying to copy it, it just totally breaks down for me. So it's just I got to get better at copying it at that speed so it's just natural. That way when and then also get better at handling the pressure of doing a QSO to be able to do it. So yeah. Tomorrow, I want to try to finish up this GoBox frame thing, and then pick up one of my other 6 or 7 unfinished projects here. I don't think I'm gonna get out and do any radio, really, but we'll see. Not committing to any concrete plans. I'll probably get a workout in also tomorrow because I haven't been doing that for a few days. Okay, 7TVA.
Very cool, man. You just said the bad word there, workout. I try to avoid them as much as I can, even though the doctor says that I should be doing the opposite. But yeah, there used to be I heard a comedian one time. I don't know if he was Puerto Rican or not, and if somebody's listening, I'm from Puerto Rico, so I'm not, making fun of myself here. But there's a guy that he says that we, the Puerto Ricans, talk like we are running out of time. And which is true, especially in Spanish. I just go full on, and it sounds like Boom Howard, but in Spanish. But yeah, totally. That's what I think when I hear that CW going very, very fast. Well, very cool, man. Sounds like you have your weekend. Sounds like it's been awesome so far, and it looks like you will have an awesome Monday as well with all those projects. Very cool, man. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on, David?
Well, so I hadn't actually heard that there was a phrase, talking like you're running out of time, because what it reminds me of is in the musical Hamilton. It's kind of a repeated thing that Alexander Hamilton, who was from Puerto Rico, writes like he's running out of time. So is that kind of riffing on talking like you're running out of time?
Well, it's funny. Well, obviously Spanish is my first language. If I listen to at least the three islands in the Caribbean, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, it's fast. I mean, if you compare that Spanish with Central America, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the heat, the humidity, that makes us be mad all the time, and we just want to talk and say whatever we need to say quickly so that we can go back into the shades or take a swim or whatever. But I still remember once in a while, my mom will ask me to slow down, and it's, it's my mom. She raised me, and it still couldn't understand me every once in a while because I got that thing. But it's gotten better because, I've been away for a long, long time, 20-something years, and I don't get. My friends here, none of them speak Spanish, and the two that I get to speak Spanish with, like once a year, they're from a different place, and they have like a normal speaking speed. They don't sound like they're running out of time. But yeah, man, that's the thing with people from the Caribbean and Spanish. It's like it's like the equivalent of fast CW. Back to you.
Definitely speaking faster Spanish down there than my 3 years of high school Spanish can keep up with. K7TVA, back to that.
Hi, David. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, man, it's fun to to hear those things. But cool, man. You have an awesome rest of your weekend. I guess because this extends until tomorrow, and an awesome weekend. We'll be talking to you soon. That was David, K7TVA, and this is Ernesto, K5PZN with the Weekend Wind-Up.net. And we're going to go and check now with Sam, K5JM. Sam, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hey, Ernesto. Thanks for running the net, and just got back from a walk, so it's going pretty good. I've been kind of relaxing yesterday, a little bit of productive stuff around the house, all these projects, right? But, I think tomorrow I'm going to put some stuff on the grill and, do all that. But, I was listening to David talking about putting together his portable Go Kit there. And I guess I'll have to post, I'm sure I did it at some point, post pictures of my Go Kit that someone helped me make. But I was thinking my first Go Kit was a reusable ATV grocery bag. It was just dump everything there loose and then away you go. So, I try not to overthink it too much, but it's always cool to see what people come up with. But back to you, Ernesto.
Sam, that's more like my style. Because every time I go to Fort Worth to visit my dad's dad, and I take my radio, I have just an HEV bag, and I put all the junk in there, and then throw the antenna in the back of the truck, and that's about it. But it's kind of neat to see, all of those things that the guys do, all those go boxes. Some of them are really, really nice. I forgot what I was. Not too long. Oh, it was breakfast. It wasn't a Go Box, but it's more like a charging station that Jeff and N5MW had. I think he bought and he fixed it, and it was a very nice thing to look at. It was a really nice project. It's always fun to see that guy when he shows up because he always brings some cool stuff to check out and talk about and discuss. Question for you. How's because I haven't been out in a while. Is it still 200 degrees out there? Over to you.
Well, but it cooled off this evening. It actually was I was outside this morning as well around 7:30, and it was actually kind of a low humidity. I mean, comparatively speaking, it was kind of nice out. But I don't know. I was in the forecast for the week. You're saying maybe by like the 10th or 11th. We might go sub 100, so get your jackets on standby.
It's funny. I was looking at that. I think 2 more weeks, and then it gets a little bit cooler. I know a lady that she was married to this guy from Africa, and she went there one time to visit. She was saying that, she went to this village in the middle of nowhere, and she spent I don't know how long over there. And those guys were working out there in really, really, really hot sun. Like, it's just extremely hot. And she's she's a redhead, so she's kind of like me, like trying to find the shades and always suffering with the heat and all that. I'm not a redhead, but I'm light enough to suffer enough from the sun. And she was saying that after the guys will come back from work all day, it was still, over 100 degrees or whatever, super hot. after they finally sat down and relaxed and rest a little bit, that they would get cold. But they were so used, their metabolism is so adapted for that heat, to work on that heat, that when they sat down and chilled, they have to get like little blankets. I can't imagine that, but they have blankets in that heat because they felt a little bit cold. And your comment reminded me that. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah, how your body kind of gets acclimated to it. And I think I've lost some of my heat tolerance from my first career, but as well as outside, it's kind of like I guess like in the military, they say like embrace the suck, you know. You just kind of like just embrace it, and then go outside working, and then you go outside the air conditioning, and you go back out and in and out. Like that actually kind of makes me kind of feel nauseous. Like it's just, if you're gonna be outside, if you can just do it all and get it all done with, and then just then come back in for one cool down. I've always felt better that way.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, it kind of sucks, but if you're out there and you just, you know, put in your mind that it's just going to be hot and whatever, you get your stuff done, hopefully you can get heat stroke, but I've been here long enough where I'm kind of used to the misery of August, especially. So it's one of those things, you need to do something outside, you just set your mind, it's going to be hot, it's going to suck, but let's just get it out of the way. I think I heard a guy one time saying that if your job was to eat a frog, to do it first thing in the morning, and if your job was to eat 2 frogs, eat the biggest one first. So that's the approach that I do with the heat. Just get out of the way and just do whatever you need to do and go out and get some chill time. Well, very cool, man. I'm glad to hear that things are going well. You get some projects done and hopefully some good grilling tomorrow. Have any plans for the week? Back to you.
Yeah, I like that philosophy, Ernesto, about getting the work done in the morning and the hot stuff done before over with. But as far as the week, I haven't planned that far ahead, so we'll see what comes about. But nothing major planned. But I did work the Big Bend Emergency Net. So they have a weekly net on 80 meters on 3.992 lower sideband. And that kicks off roughly around 8:15 is when they start taking check-ins, and you can look it up on their website. But anyways, I actually we didn't talk, directly, but I heard Jake KG5TRT on there, and he sent me a text and let me know that he heard me in Fort Davis, so that was kind of fun. And of course there was the CW Net, which we did on Thursday. It was a pretty good crowd. We missed you on that one, but I think we had at least five people on there. So. And then Justin, AI5OS, it was his first time on there, and he nailed it. So it's a lot of fun. Back to you, K5JM.
Well, very cool, man. No, I did not know about that, the Big Bend Net. I'm gonna look it up. And I didn't know either that Justin was a CWer, so that's really neat. Yeah, I missed it, man. I was prepping up to help Mireya with the with the UFO theme net, which was kind of funny. I was laughing most of the night with everything that was happening. But hopefully this week, I keep saying the same thing. It's just it's one of those things. But hopefully I can jump in this week and bug you guys with my rudimentary CW skills. So very cool, man. Yeah, we need to get more people on that too. But it sounds like it's getting busier, which is a great thing. Was Pat on this one, or is he still out of town? Back to you.
No, he has been returned or ejected from his vacation spot or something, but he's back. So it was good to have him there, and it was a good time had by all. And for Maria and for you putting on the alien themed net, that was probably one of my favorite nets. The voice, I mean, they're all good, but it's probably one I think that's the most. I just thought it was enjoyable. It's an interesting topic to me, and I really appreciated the effort that y'all put into that. It was a lot of fun. So good job.
thank you, man. That told me that, yeah, she was the one who come up with all that stuff and the sound effect and all the things. It was fun. I had a great time. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I had a great time. It was a lot of laughing. I was afraid that people were not going to call in, because of the stigma or whatever. But I was really happy that people participated. It was a fun net, and we had a really good time. Well, very cool, Sam. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
Thinking about your 2-meter amp there and waiting with anticipation for you to get the thing wired up and get on the south side net. We'll see what you might melt or happen. Hopefully nothing bad happens, but I would like to hear you 5.9 plus. So yeah, talk to you here soon. I hope, Ernesto. Maybe in CW. 7-3 from K5JM.
All right, Sam, you take care. If anything with that amp, this house is so old that I'm afraid that the electric panel is going to set on fire. We're going to have to call the fire department. But, well, very cool, man. I appreciate you checking into the net. It's always fun talking to you, man. Hope you have an awesome week, and we'll be chatting soon. All right, let's see. It's 8:46. Let me go and check. Let's do a quick ID here before I get in trouble. Flying Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. It's 8:46. I'm going to try to see if I can get Brent. Brent sent me a text. He's trying to get into the net. KJ5 Charlie Zulu. KJ5 Charlie Zulu. Brent, you around? All right. Did not hear homie, so I guess he's still having issues with his HD. Hopefully we can figure that out and help him out soon. All right, well, it's 8:47. I know the SwapNet is about to start soon, so I am going to read you guys a list of the local nets so you can stay radioactive throughout the week. We get started on Mondays with the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Monday. That's on the 50.125 megahertz frequency. That's at 8 p.m. And then on Mondays, we have 3 more nets. We have the Williamson County Amateur Radio Club Newham net. That's on the 146.640 repeater, also at 8 p.m. The weekly YL net, that's on the Oak Hill repeater system at 8 p.m. as well. And the Texas A&M University Amateur Radio Club Information and Training net, and that's on the University Link repeater system, also at 8 p.m. On Tuesdays, we have the Oak Hill Southside Simplex, hosted by Ray, K5BZI, that's on the 146.555 megahertz at 8 p.m. At 6 p.m., we have on Tuesdays the Absolute Tech net. I guess I should switch the order here, but I'll do that later. The Absolute Tech net, that's on the Oak Hill repeater system at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we have the UT Amateur Radio Club Wednesday net. That's on the University Link repeater system and the N5 OAK repeater system. That's at 8 p.m. every Wednesday night. On Thursdays, we have 2 nets. We have the one that Sam was talking about, the Oak Hill CW net hosted by PASS W5WTH, and that's on the 3.532 megahertz frequency at 7:30 every Thursday. Then at 8 p.m., the Oak Hill Thursday night net hosted by a different operator every week. That's on the N5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system, and that's at 8 p.m. First is the CW net at 7:30, and then the other net at 8 p.m., the voice net. On Saturday, we have 3 nets. We have the K5LBJ News and Information net. That's on the N5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system at 10 a.m. Those are the guys from the Lhasa High School. You should check them out. It's a fun net every Saturday around 10 a.m. At 7 p.m. on Saturday, the Austin Amateur Radio Club Elmer's net, hosted by Jeff, N5MNW. And that's on the 146.940 megahertz repeater at 7 p.m. At 9 p.m., there's the 220 megahertz Guys Original Preservation Net hosted by Steve, KB9DSQ. And the easiest way to get to that one is through Echolink by connecting to Whiskey Mike Niner Whiskey Dash Romeo, WM9W dash R. Oh man, I'm getting old. And on Sunday, we have 4 nets. We have the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter weekly net, and that's on the 28.410 megahertz frequency at 3 p.m. At 7 p.m., the Travis County Aries weekly net on the 147.360 megahertz repeater. At 7:30, this one, the Weekend Wind Down net, hosted by yours truly, KI5PZN, on the University Link repeater system and the N5 OAK repeater system, and we get started every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. And coming up in 10 minutes, the Austin Amateur Radio Club Swap Net, hosted by Jeff, N5MNW, and that's on the 146.940 megahertz repeater, and that's coming up at 9 p.m., so go and check that one out. And don't forget to go to n5oak.org to check the calendar for all of this nets and also the DMR machine. We have nets there almost every night, and that's on n5oak.org. And all right, let's get a count on tonight's check-in. We have 6 check-ins tonight, so thank you guys for always supporting home here with this net. And I want to thank Rusty, Kai, Sky, Dwight, David, and Sam for checking in to tonight's net. Well, thank you for joining me tonight on the Weekend Wind Down Net. I hope that even if your weekend was a bust, and definitely if it was a blast, that we all keep the momentum, focus on the positive, and here is to a great start to your week. Thanks again to Kyle, KA5D, and the Okio Amateur Radio Club and 50AK for letting me use their repeater system to run this net. To learn more about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you would like to learn more about the Okio Amateur Radio Club, including how to become a member and how to join the club Discord server, please visit n5oak.org. I'm Ernesto, KI5PZN, and from my QTH here in East Austin, Texas. 73, and thanks again for participating and listening tonight. The system is now returned to regular amateur use. Good night, y'all. KI5PZN, and I'll be clear.